Bang on. Hello and welcome to the Gun Locker. Now I've actually managed to find some time where I can do a little bit of shooting. I've been promising myself some time for I don't know how many weeks now, and it just hasn't happened. But we're here, we've done it, we've got the gun out, we've got the targets set up, targets are down at 30 meters, and I'm finally going to get to play with this KalibrGun SNIPE II, one of a kind. And one of a kind because it's sub 12.177, but it's got a 600mm barrel. And what makes it really special is that, and the reason why it's one of a kind is purely because of the way the regs have been set up. Generally speaking, it doesn't work for such a long barrel, because to get it under sub 12 you have to take it off the reg. We've managed to do a little bit of jiggery pokery with the help of the guys at KalibrGun, and that's why I can say on my previous video that this was a world exclusive, because it's their only SNIPE II that actually, with this regulator, that can shoot sub 12 foot-pound. The advantage of the longer barrel will become apparent very shortly. What I've done is, because I'm going to be using this whole setup for something completely different, the rail on here is a 20 MOA rail, which will probably, for those of you that are experienced shooters, will be telling you something straight off the bat. I've got No Limits mounts on here by West Hunter, and again, spoiler alert, that's going to be telling you a little bit about what I'm hoping to do with this air rifle. And then on top of that, I've got an Element Titan. This is the 3-18 by 50 first focal plane, an incredible bit of kit. So to both KalibrGun and to Element Optics, thank you very much for entrusting me with these incredible bits of kit. It's as simple as that. But the whole point of this video is purely just to have a little bit of fun. As I say, I've not shot it yet. My eyes have been opened to all sorts of things since I last did an airgun review, and one of them stems, or not stems, that's the wrong word, one centers around pellet quality, because I've been doing some testing off camera. I've been looking at the different types of pellets available to me, because specifically for what I want to do with this in another video, and I'm not going to say too much, but I've been going through all the different pellets that are available, and I've thought to myself, do you know what, I've never ever done this, but I'm going to start weighing pellets, and I need to do that again because of what I want to do with this gun. What really surprised me, and with all the years of shooting that I've done, but that was mainly, you know, with firearms, not so much with air guns, especially when we're talking about long distance. So there we go, there's a hint. The variance in the pellets with regards to what the manufacturers are saying is just mind-blowing. I'll give you an example. Against everything that I stood for, I actually started weighing pellets, and it was quite shocking what I found. So I'm going to put an image up on screen now anyway, so you get to see properly what I'm looking at here, and I don't want to lose that. But for example, JSB Match Diablo Exacts, okay, 0.547G, 8.44 grain, 500 pieces, 177. and these are the 452s. Now I'm not sure what these are retailing at, but they're probably one of the most expensive air pellets that you can get, apart from custom made hand swaged pellets. Slightly more expensive than the Air Arms Diablo Fields. Now look, that tin has got a price of £14.99. They're going to be slightly more expensive, okay? And these are saying 8.4 grain on the tin. What's really annoying me about these manufacturers, and if it was on any other product, if they make a statement or a claim saying they're 8.44 grain, the pellets should be 8.44 grain. Otherwise, why do it? You know, just say approximately 8 point something grains. But that's not going to sell pellets, is it? Because at the end of the day, if they say approximately 8 point something grains, you're going to think, well, you know, why should I spend 15, 16 pounds a tin? You are buying supposed quality at that price, okay? If these tins of pellets were back at £4 a tin, which is what they used to be a few years back, or £5 a tin, then all right, fine, you wouldn't worry about it so much. But we're talking 3, almost 4 times as much now with regards to price increases, and they're being specific on the tin. 8.44 grain, they're telling us, okay? And we're prepared to spend a lot of money because we trust that the manufacturer is going to provide what they say they're going to provide. Okay, back to this image on screen. I started weighing them out, and because of the variation in weights, I decided, right, I'm not going to work to 0.2 decimal places, I'll work to 0.1 of a decimal place, and I'll group it. So I've got 8.3, which means anything from 8.30 to 8.39 grains. 8.4, so again that's 8.4 grains to 8.49 grains. 8.5, 8.6. If I look at this, I'll make sure that this is just a standard pill box that I've got, by the way, and I've just put some embossed sticky labels on there. But there's the 8.3 bracket, there's the 8.4 bracket, there's the 8.5 bracket, and it goes 8.6 as well. If I look at this selection here, I would hazard a guess that only, I would say 50 to 55% of the pellets that I weighed out, and to be honest, I did this for a few more, and then I got bored to tears with it. I mean, it's soul destroying having to weigh pellets. But yeah, about 50 to 55% of those pellets fell within the 8.4 to 8.49 grain bracket. Now, what does that actually mean in real terms? With regards to accuracy, that will explain why maybe 1 in 2 shots are out, where they're, you know, they've dropped lower, or they've swung to the right or swung to the left, depending on windage. The reason for that is because if you set your rifle up for a specific grain of pellet, and that grain of pellet then turns out to be, you know, heavier or lighter, it's going to affect the point of impact. No two ways about it. So for all of those guys that have said to me in the past, you need to weigh your pellets, yeah, hats off to you, hands up. I should have weighed my pellets previously, absolutely. With regards to the importance of doing so, I guess with an air gun, if you're looking at taking quarry up to say 40 meters, then that difference, will it take it out of a kill shot? Possibly, depending on how far out we are with regards to the grains, with regards to the weightage of the pellets. Is it as important? I guess if you're sticking to 30 or 40 meters, then probably no, because you're restricted to your pounds of footage, sorry, your power. But if you do want to be precise, if you are thinking about target shooting and you want that pellet to drop pellet on pellet each and every time, then yeah, it's going to make a massive difference. So for that reason, I would suggest that guys, if you are talking about bench rest shooting, you definitely need to weigh your pellets. So that means buying a decent set of scales, which will go to 0.0001 of a gram, and that will get you your, your grains that you're after. All I can say though is I'm getting really pissed off with manufacturers taking the piss out of us. All of this 8.44 grain stuff, all of these measurements, all of these weights that they put on here, it's diddly squat. All you can do is think, okay, fine, it's going to be roughly there. I rather buy a tin, in all honesty, of Bisley LRGs that says 0.177, 500 pellets, 4.5 millimeters. Because when I actually weigh them out, to be honest, they're within the 7.6 to 7.9 bracket. The majority of these are coming in at 7.7 to 7.8 grains. But they make no claim of it being a specific grain weight, and the price difference on the back, £10.99 for the tin. Okay, £5 difference, or £4 difference, whatever you want to call it. That's a lot. And they're making them, they're not pretending that it's anything else. Now, Bisley long range golds are made by H&N, okay, and H&N make pellets for a whole load of other brands. What do we got here? I think, yeah, the Remington, Thunder Barracudas, they're H&N's, yeah, H&N's, and so on. There's quite a few, but that's my rant over and done with, and I hope it resonates with some of these manufacturers, although to be honest I don't think they'll give a damn, because they just know that we're going to pay it stupidly, but we're going to pay it. So that aside, that's my rant over and done with. Let's get down to a bit of shooting. And again, because this is really only going to be a pellet test, so I'm not going for accuracy as such. I've got, I don't know how many different tins of pellets here. I've got quite a few. I'm going to go through them all. I'm going to find the pellets that this rifle prefers, and then what I'll do, and that'll be another video, that'll be to do with accuracy. I'm going to fine tune it some more by weighing out the pellets to make sure that at least those pellets that I'm testing in here for an accuracy test are within the same 0.1 of a grain. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, let's see how it goes, shall we? I'm going to start off with the JSB Match Diablo Exacts, just because I've sighted the rifle in using these. It didn't take many shots at all. I do love this rifle, honestly. It's just we'll follow up with the Air Arms Diablo Fields, and then, do you know what, guys? At first, I've even got, just for the channel, some QISs, because I've been asked so many times, why aren't you shooting QISs? I've got some, so we'll try them out. Right, let's make a start. Okay, so we're going to do 5-shot groups. Don't want to kind of waste too many pellets initially. Like I said, we're going to start off with the JSB Match Diablo Exacts. I've had my rent, 8.44 grain. I'm going to load the mag in just from the left hand side because it's easier for me to do that, although it's ambidextrous. I could feed it in from the right hand side. I've got a camera set up down the bottom there, targets at 30 meters, and I know that you've got you're obviously looking at me, so what I might just do, bear with me, is swing the camera around so that you'll be able to get to see wrong way round, all the way down there. Oh, sorry, I'll try to get used to this gimbal. So you can see it there, that's 30 meters away. Let me just bring that round again, bring it into focus. There we go. So I'm hoping, oops, maybe a bit too much there. Okay. So you can see where the target is, and I've got a camera down there. Let's make a start. Nice thing about this, it's got an ambidextrous safety on here, so you can either use it on the right side or the left. Again, I like to use it with my thumb on the left hand side. Let's go top left hand target, and just checking. Yeah, my camera is still working down there. We'll just do a group of 5. I can actually feel myself a little bit nervous here. Okay, so we've got a bit of a spread on them. Next up, we've got the Air Arms Diablo Fields. Let's see how these perform. What I will say as well is that when you look at the skirts on those JSB Exacts, the amount of deformed pellets in the tin, it's just, honestly, they're supposedly the A grade and these are the B grade, but these are a more uniform pellet any day of the week, any day. Right, let's go top middle target, 5 shots. I think that was it. Let me just check. Yeah. Okay, that was a better group. Right, so I'm just going to put these here in the order that I've been shooting them, so I know what I'm doing. Let's break the seal of these QYSs, shall we? Let's see how they perform. Already, I'm going to tell you that as I'm looking at them, the pellets themselves look much nicer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very uniform. The way that the back of the pellet has been formed, oh, it's incredible. They are so even. Not sure what the weight or size are, but I'll tell you in a second. So these are much heavier. They're 9.56 grain, 4.50/03. I'm not sure what that means, but let's give these a go. I'm assuming they're going to be dropping a little bit because they're considerably heavier, and I could feel as I was pushing the pellet via the probe, just felt a little bit tighter going into the breech. Let's go top right hand target. That was bang on. I think that was the last shot. Yeah, it was. Now that's a nice group. Bear in mind, I've never shot these before, straight off the tin. Wow. And they didn't drop. Stayed with level. I do like this gun. I do like this gun a lot. Wow. Wow. Right, let's put some Thunder Barracudas in there. That was a surprise, honestly. 1, 2, 3. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I will say as well, guys, these magazines that KalibrGun make are nice. I'll be honest with you, and you'll be able to see this in a second, possibly, is that the actual spring in this one, for whatever reason, there was a little bit of play. I don't think it had been tightened up properly, and when I first used it, it actually gave. So I put a spacer of a washer, or spacer washer, between the screw and the faceplate, or the holding wheel, I don't know what you call it, and it's perfect. It works really well. So it's only on this one. The other magazine's working absolutely fine, no problem. So I'll relay that back to KalibrGun if they don't already know about it. So we got Remington Thunder Barracudas. What does it say on the back? Just 4.5s. That's it. Let's go middle left. A little bit of resistance there, feeding that pellet in. Done. Not bad. Not bad at all. What's up next? Oops. Let's try these H&N field target trophies. Tin is so bashed up, but that's how it was given to me by one of the gun dealers. In all honesty, it was a free tin, so I can't complain. I mean, it was very kind of them to give me the pellets, and there's nothing wrong with pellets inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Right, center target. I've got to say, you know, this scope, what a lovely, lovely bit of kit. The reticle is phenomenal. I think that's me done. Yeah. Oh wow. What a gun. What a gun. And by the way, guys, you saw me shooting there. This is real time. I'm not cropping it in any way, shape or form, okay? So that's it. And you'll note that I'm holding the buttstock. I am moving about in the gun. I can feel myself moving a little bit, so I'm making allowances as I'm taking the shot. No two ways about it. But by God, is this a bit of kit. It's Yeah. KalibrGun. Oh, I do like you. I do like you a lot. Next up, we've got Diana High Powers. Let's just put 5 down there. So 1, 2, 3, 5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do you know the irony so far of all of these pellets? The JSB Match Diablo Exacts, which is supposed to be the best pellet, aren't performing as well as the other lesser pellets. Although I'm not sure how much these were. I can't remember how much the QISs were. I think they can be a bit pricey as well, but stunning. Right, so Diana High Powers up next. So this is going to be middle right. We'll put 5 in that. I think that's it. I always lose count. Yep. Good girl. Good girl. All right, next up, Bisley LRGs. We'll get this done. I've got two more to go through. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I've already mentioned that these pellets are quite a bit lighter than the others. They're ranging in the 7 point, hang on a sec. No, it's a split between 7.0 to 7.9 and 7.8 to 7.89. It's about an even split there. There's more consistency in these than there are in the JSB Match Diablo Exacts. So, bottom left hand target. Just check. Yeah, that camera still seems to be working. Right, okay. What's kind of really surprising me about this is that I honestly think with time you could tune it to any sort of pellet. It just loves it. It's eating them up, absolutely. There's nothing there with these 7 pellets I've just tried. There's nothing there that would kind of put you off using it in the field. They're all kill shots. And by the way, I keep meaning to say this, that target that's care of the Airgun target company, thank you very much, it's a 25 meter target and we're shooting at 30 meters here. I'm not, to be fussed, I'm not particularly bothered, but for any of you guys that are thinking, well, you know, what sort of target am I using? It is rated for 25 meters, not 30. To be honest though, all I really need is a dot to aim at. That's it. Next up, we've got the Norma Golden Trophy FT Heavies. These are coming in at 9.1 grain, so I think the second heaviest pellet that I've got. 4, 5. Very shiny, very even, consistent pellet by the looks of it. Hardly any deformation in the skirts. So let's give these a go. So what we're going to be doing is aiming for the very tiny target, bottom middle. That's in. Camera still appears to be working. Yep. That one flew off a bit to the right, I could see that. Wow. Good girl. Good girl. What a lovely bit of kit. Alright guys, and I've got myself some Webley AccuPels here. Again, 4.5 grains. Nothing fancy. And that's the last of the pellets that I've got to test at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. There we go. When it comes to doing the accuracy test, a little bit more shooting, I will do a full rundown of this rifle and give you all the specs to go with it, so you know exactly what it is that I'm dealing with. I just wanted to get out and do a bit of shooting and bring you guys along for the ride. I said that I would. I've never tried any of these pellets through this gun before, except for the JSB Match Diablos, just to sight it in. So yeah, it's a learning curve, but I'm very, very happy, I've got to say. All right, let's finish this off. Bottom right hand target. Holy cow. Oh wow, did it like them. What have I got here? What have I got here? What a gun. Okay, well look, I'm going to show you this card and I'll put a decent image of it up on the screen up here. You guys saw me shooting there. I wasn't taking my time, I just wanted to see which pellet this rifle preferred, and I started off with the JSB Match Diablo Exacts. That gave me the largest spread of all the 9 that I've just chosen. Really impressed with the QISs, but also the Webley AccuPels. I mean, that's such a tight group, it's phenomenal. And I was like speed shooting. Yes, so you saw me do it. There's no time or messing around with the time lapse or anything like that. It's just off the bat, straight shooting and enjoying it. What can I say? KalibrGun, what an incredible rifle this is. I love it, I really do. There's no two ways about it. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. Like I say, there's some videos coming up on it. I will do a full spec rundown when I do the accuracy test, but for now it was just a case of doing a little bit of shooting, seeing what pellets it likes, and to be honest, you know, it kind of fares well with all of them, and I dare say this could be easily tightened up. I know that the back end support on the rifle, it's moving slightly with my heart rate as well, my heartbeat. I can feel it going up and down. But saying that, phenomenal bit of kit, absolutely phenomenal bit of kit. I mean, this group here, using the Webley Accupels, my small finger now, yeah, easily within that. I mean, what are we talking about there? If you put, that's an 8 or 9 mil group without even trying. I mean, by God, what a gun, what a gun. I'm going to do it again. I am so pleased with this. And again, another huge thanks to Element Optics for the Titan 3-18 by 50 first focal plane. Fantastic bit of kit, it really is. The glass is phenomenal. The reticle is superb, and it's so nicely calibrated. Makes dialing it in ever so easy. It really does. I mean, I've seen Matt Dubber on many of his videos, you know, talking about this range of scopes, because obviously he's majorly involved with them, and he's not messing about. He really isn't. And it's, you know, all I can say is when you look at the lights of the World Championships that go on at Utah Armac, a lot of the shooters there are using Element scopes, and I can understand why. They are just precision bits of kit. So for what I've got here at the moment, I really do think it's going to be up to the challenge as to what I do later on, and you're just going to have to wait for that video for sure. But for now, as a simple accuracy test, I'm blown away. I'm absolutely blown away. I'm so pleased with this. Compared to other rifles I've had when I'm just doing a free-for-all pellet test with no real messing about or taking time, it scored very well indeed. Alright, well, till the next one, as always, if you're out shooting, please be safe, stay safe, look after the people around you, look after yourself, look after your permission, and make sure your projectile stays within your permission. I've said it before, but if it doesn't, it's against the law. And at the end of the day, you are an ambassador of the sport, so please don't mess about, because if you get caught, it looks bad on all of us, and we all end up paying the price some way. If it's not being restricted, it's making it harder for us to gain permissions, all that sort of stuff. So please, just be sensible when you're out there. Till the next one, take care. Bye bye.